clicked a button, which means that people might be hearing my voice right now. I see things moving and we're live. So, Keith, what do you have to say?
Welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Keith Malley.
I'm Chemda.
I see here Caitlin Clark breaks the NCAA women's basketball all-time scoring record. What could that be? Like 5? Anyway.
Wow.
Oh,
That's
Today's
how
guest,
wow.
I'm
Marga
out.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody.
I quit.
Come on, Marga. Come on.
Ah.
How you doing?
Yeah, why don't you play her? Go ahead, play her. Go
What
on.
if I fucking just dominated? Wouldn't that be a kick in the pants?
No, it wouldn't be anyway. It would be like
It
the
would be your
simulation.
dream.
Yes.
It'd be his dream. Then he'd come. Yeah.
Marga has a new one-person show coming out, right? It's called
Yes, I.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It's
Go
called
ahead.
Swimming with Lesbians. Nice. Real
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
You were on a gay cruise, a lesbian cruise?
Oh, in the 90s, I used to be I used to work on the lesbian cruises. I used to call bingo. I used to do a show. If they were vomiting, I would give them crackers, hopefully before they're, because people get seasick.
Right.
And so a lot of these women, like it was the first of these lesbian cruises, they'd never been on a ship before and they didn't know about nausea. So yeah, I did that. I did shows. I did newlywed, oldie-wed game where you get the lesbian couples to, do those. I think you've done that on Keith and the Girl,
Yeah.
that game.
Who's better? Couples that have been together for a while or brand new couples? Who's better at those
Always
games?
the brand new couples,
Yeah,
of course.
that's funny.
Yeah. And
Really?
when we
Why? Is that because older couples are just what are they doing already? They're just settling into who they are. I would figure they have the bigger juicy stuff on their partners.
You had decades to know my favorite song.
Yeah.
Well, they're all cheating on each other, so they're not really
To try
keeping
to
up.
keep
Not
keep it all
keeping
in
up.
track, right?
Yeah. But I think when you're in the first year of a relationship, first of all, you're having a lot more sex and you're paying attention more to the other person. And then after that, you've got the relationship and now it's time to live your life.
And this is a one-person show about those adventures?
No.
Okay. It's fun to reminisce just the same. This is about you
fun.
fucking mermaids.
This is about her
draft,
just showing off that she can swim, Keith. Go take
Right.
lessons.
Right.
No, actually, it's a show that I watched a lot of Love Boat episodes. I watched a lot of SpongeBob, and then I had this life experience, and I kind of merged them all. Last year, that's all I did was develop this show, try different things, and I didn't even know what the fuck I was going to do as far as the plot. And then, the plot happened, and things in my life were part of the story. Like when I was working on a cruise ship, one of the worst things that happened to me was that I don't know how to swim. And it's embarrassing because a lesbian is supposed to be able to do everything, including beat you at basketball. But
Right. Well, I can't swim either. I'm making fun like I'd be better at basketball. I can't swim.
I know, I love you for that. And so this this Butch Dyke, like a real Butch Dyke, like I just have Butch hair, but she was a real Butch Dyke. She picked me up and she threw me. I was emceeing the pool games. I was being the boss. And then this bitch picked me up and threw me in the deep end of the pool, which was only 5 feet. It was only 5 feet, but I started to drown because when you can't swim, you're able to drown in any amount of water.
Right.
And she ruined my Timex watch. And then this was the 90s, and I had these Keds skips, those little lace-up Keds, those little white shoes. Very proud of them.
The
They
canvas
were ruined.
ones?
Yeah, yeah. And so that pain, just, state that embarrassment, humiliation. And then the boss of the lesbian cruise, you can't do anything because those are paying customers. So they can abuse all of us entertainers or staff, and we can never yell at the guests.
Did she know you couldn't swim or was she just being funny?
She was just being funny, but then it was even funnier that I was drowning.
Joke's on her. We need a lifeguard now asking me what day today is.
That's right. Now you have to pay more for the cruise because of what happened to me. So I use stuff like that, and I play like 7 characters, and one of them is sort of based on my secretly meek lesbian who can't do anything.
Right.
And so that, and also I had this bully from college, and she's in the show as
Okay.
a different character. And
Is she still alive, by the way? My bullies happen to all be dead.
are you saying that because I'm old?
I'm saying that because mine, like one died obviously of a heart attack, knowing his size and
Thoughts and
age.
prayers.
Not really. It bothered. I wish they were still alive so that they'd be in pain. I know hurt people, but I would still like that hurt to keep going for these people. One was like drunk driving, dad, something like this. I wish they were still around and watched their life be horrible. But are yours still around? Do you check up on it?
I haven't looked her up on social media, and I totally forgot about her. But she tormented me when I was 19 in our friend group because she was jealous because, I was the
19.
new kid in the group. And she showed up at a show about 5 years ago, and it was in Boston, and I bombed that night.
Fuck.
And I didn't want to see anybody, much less my bully. My
Right.
bully, and I always practiced what I would say to her
Of
and what I
course.
would do to her.
Yeah.
And she showed up after I bombed, and all I could do was just kind of clam up and pretend I was, good to see you. But I was very, I was all jittery and stuff. I was
Right.
all weird. And
Did you know
yeah,
she
so
was in
she,
the audience when you were on stage?
no, it
Oh,
was a
that's good.
terrible audience. It was so she might have just, you know, spooked the room. She was a jinx. That's what she is.
Hmm.
Show jinx. Yeah.
How did she, because I imagine she's acting like she wasn't your bully because the way you describe that kind of bullying, that person doesn't admit it. That person just talks behind your back, triangulates with your friends, and then like when they're together, they just throw like side shit at you that you can't really combat because they're in front of your friend group. So
Yeah.
she probably didn't consider herself your bully, right?
Well, back then, she used to, when I was with the group, she would, and this is just right in the show. I mean, I didn't even make this up, but she would pull my hair. I'd be like talking in the friend group, right? You're 19. It's really important to do well with the friend group. And she starts pulling my hair, had like hair down to my ass, Latina. And
Nice.
she starts singing this song, Where is Love from Oliver the Musical, and she would just slowly pull my hair down, like the little tender part. Ah, ah, ah.
Where's
You're in flashbacks.
love?
Of course, you sing it way better. And I've hated show tunes ever since. And
And I shaved my head and
and she'd do it every single time. As soon as like I told a joke and the friend group was laughing, there'd be her little claw in my hair. She did that for like the couple of years that I was in this town. And then she shows up at the show. So I think she may not have thought of that as bullying, or she may
Right.
not have remembered she was physically abusive to me. So she showed up after the show like a heckler will, like a heckler thinks they've been helping you the whole show.
right.
She showed
Mhm.
up with that stupid friendly face. And I wasn't prepared to go back, 20
Huh.
years to tell her what,
Is you
what
know
I
what
thought of
they
her.
you know what they tell us when boys do that? They would tell us that they have a crush on us, which, I'm so glad that like the next generation is like unacceptable. I'm like, we
Right.
could say that? Holy shit. No, I don't want someone pulling my hair who likes me. Figure your shit out. Figure out a
Let,
different way to express yourself. I had to. So
let me
do you
just say that's a
yeah.
plot point. It's a plot point.
Okay.
That
Okay.
was her motivation.
I'm happy to
It's her
help with the
motivation.
writing. No.
Thank you.
Does
You
she?
you want to hear something weird about that same song? That same song I hate also because when I was younger, I tried out for LaGuardia High School. I wanted to sing a Whitney Houston song that I know and love just because it'll be easy for me. And my next door neighbor, who was actually going to LaGuardia, was like, "Don't be a basic bitch. Learn this song." And I was like, "Fuck." And it took me a while to get like smooth with a song. And I just didn't learn it fast enough, long enough to go on an audition with. And instead of killing the audition, I was just too nervous about not knowing the song. So I hate that song too.
You know what? What
Oh
I
yeah.
just heard of it.
Mhm.
I hate it too.
Yeah.
I mean, probably different reasons because it's a dumb song, but we all agree, fuck that song and musicals are dumb. Do you live in LA, San Francisco?
San Francisco.
And where does your bully live? Will she see this show? You're going to do it in New York City. Is she going to see it? And will you change anything if you see her in the front row with her feet on the stage, the way these bullies like to do?
Well, the fact that I fuck her in the show, I think will make her feel, just flattered.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I fuck her character. That's a spoiler, but
Yeah. You
not
got to
none
give
of
us
my
something.
I
my plot doesn't matter.
Right.
I did
Yeah.
not even think to write out something like that about a bully. Like that is so clever, right? Like
You
what
fuck them
other
and dump them.
oh,
But
Yeah.
and that's made up for the show. You didn't really have sex with this bully, did you?
Nah, she's not my type.
Okay.
No, but yeah, she was in the show, and I was working with a friend of mine who was sort of working with the script, and also they were saying, well, why does she do that? And it's just like, and I would say to them, because she's evil, but they want something to make it an interesting show. So
mm.
then I came up with that motivation and then that outcome for her. Yeah.
Did people see that she was pulling your hair? Was it
Yeah,
obvious?
yeah, but they thought that it was okay because I didn't hit her. That's the thing. The unresolved conflict is that I wanted to hit her, but I was this kind of kid who I couldn't like make a fist and hit somebody. I felt like I don't know what it was, just and I'd been hit as a kid, but I couldn't be violent in return. So I just had to take it. So I think it looked like it was funny, like I was having a good time. And I think I might
Mm.
have even laughed it off because I was too embarrassed.
God, I've been there. Oh, does that feel weird even saying that out loud? Because I love that you just said that because I'm like, oh, how would I respond? That's how I would respond. Fuck.
I'd pull my own hair. Fuck them.
I might
Well,
say
yeah.
ow, but I assume you didn't want to say ow to your bully.
Um, I think I couldn't help but saying ow, but people think that everything
Mm,
is planned. It's a little skit that you're doing.
mm.
So I guess, doing the show is I finally worked it out. Like,
You finally made it into the skit it was supposed to be.
yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah. Now
Right.
everybody could see it. Yeah.
I'll do something about the Holocaust. Like make that work out.
But Hitler was just attracted to Jews, and that's what that was about.
And then all the
Uh,
Jews fuck him or something. I don't
Holy
know.
shit.
yeah, yeah, he's still alive somewhere. Let's get him. But the show it's a people don't really know that she was a real person, and they don't know that this show has anything emotional in it because it's just sort of like a cartoon. It's kind of just super goofy
I would
and
know. Can I tell you something? I would know. I am one of these people that I think people write from their experiences, and you really can't make this shit up. It just doesn't come to you. I would know, and that would make it extra special to me.
oh, good,
I'm
good.
saying I'm in. I'm saying I'm in.
Well, now everybody is going to know because I blabbed it. I told myself I wouldn't give out the spoiler, but I
What?
did.
Yeah, please, please. What did you think? Where did you think this was gonna go? Yeah. Um,
Always.
how are you doing? How are you doing now in personal sex life? Are you seeing somebody? Are they excited about the show? What's happening? You got a little smirk on your face. Am I making that up?
No, I did. Very good. You really know
Thank
how
you.
to read me. You read me. You
That's
get
kind
me.
of easy, but thank you.
Um, well, I guess I was smiling because I thought of what I did on Valentine's Day.
Hello.
Yeah. It was Valentine's Day. I got a chocolate bar, white chocolate, which I think is people say it's not chocolate. I don't care. It's a lot of sugar, a lot of sweet, and I like it.
Okay, that's
I
not a
got that.
euphemism. It's really white
It's
chocolate.
white chocolate.
Okay,
Right. But yeah, I masturbated really to make a long
nice.
story short. It was about 5 o'clock, and I kept seeing all the couples on social, and I thought, should I? unfollow them or snooze them. I snooze people a lot. Like I snooze all my friends who are in Netflix as a joke. They've all been snoozed on my
Right.
socials. I don't have to see the fucking picture with the,
Right.
because it's kind of like, it's really, they're just like a post that say, you suck, Marga. Netflix is a joke.
Right.
But
We're not even sure what it is. Is it the TV? Is it a stage show? We don't know, but it's a little too much sometimes, right?
my vibrator fell on my head. I was looking for something in the closet and I put it away because I
I've done
thought,
that with my phone. Yeah.
if
You're
I,
laying in
you mean
bed.
what,
Yeah.
masturbate with your phone?
No, no, well, I guess, but no, you just hold it up and sometimes it drops. I can see that happening, but
This
please
is a
continue.
big ass, this is a magic Hitachi magic wand. Hemda, you
Uh,
know what I'm talking about.
with the ripcord.
Pretty much. And I didn't get the battery one, so I have to masturbate very close to the wall. So
That's a
it's really,
remote.
it's
Oh,
hard to,
You
it's
plug
not a
it in.
remote. I have to be near the wall. And so the
because it has
fantasies
a
are,
cord. Hey
Yeah.
guys, you know how you don't even have a cord for your earphones anymore?
Right. I
it's
gotta
not
be
a
in the
Bluetooth.
corner.
No, I'm just like right here masturbating, and I have to
Eh,
come up with scenarios like I'm locked in a closet.
Yeah. And
But
sometimes you're like, why is the vacuum cleaner working? All right, I wanted to masturbate last night. I got to
I
change
just
out
thought
the, yeah.
I thought it was God. God was saying, "Happy Valentine's Day, Marga. Here's a vibrator." And so 5 o'clock, I put on my white noise machine and I went to town.
Why the white noise machine?
Oh, because I
Spies.
wouldn't. Well, my neighbors, I don't want them to hear that.
Oh,
I want them to hear me having real sex, which they haven't, but I don't want them to hear and
oh, oh, I
I
didn't
don't
think of that.
the walls are very thin in my apartment.
Like there's no other sound like it, quite frankly, right?
Ah, yeah, I want them to hear whoosh.
Well, happy Valentine's Day. What's the button on social media that cancels all happy couples?
Oh, well, if you see somebody who's very happy or more successful than you could just go to their profile
Okay,
and
so it's
then
one at a
click on the
time.
things.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it's one at a time. But that
Nice.
would be a good app.
Right. No happiness today.
Yeah.
Couples. Yeah. Bling.
I don't unfriend them. They're still my friends. And
Sure.
Facebook says they don't know what I did.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
yeah.
Right. By the way,
Sometimes I unfriend or snooze, unfollow so many people that I
yeah.
just see myself in the feed, just my posts.
Are you ever upset? Like, oh shit, that's what I've been writing. All right,
I'm like,
and
yeah.
reaccept.
Yeah.
God, I hate this person. Oh shit, it's me. Accept. Speaking of lesbians, I went to see this new lesbian movie. If you go to keithandthegirl.com, you can see on the last show there's a picture of it. It's called Madam Web, and I saw the this is the
I,
new superhero
oh,
movie, Women Spider-Man, and the movie's horrible. I knew it was horrible going in, the 14% Rotten Tomatoes, but I have to see every superhero ever made. And I like the jacket also, Marga. I think they knew this movie was so bad that all the press pictures are the women like almost completely naked. I'm not exaggerating that I can see Dakota Johnson's pussy. I don't think I'm exaggerating, right? In fact, I thought maybe it got such a low rating at first on Rotten Tomatoes because like everybody's a fake prude nowadays. It's like no, these are celebrities in a porn, but no, apparently it's just a regular stupid superhero movie. I thought it was like, is it like a web of jizz? What is this? I told Kyle, I said, look at this fucking picture. Apparently, I'm seeing a porn movie. She saw the picture. She thought it really was a porn movie. She goes, well, then I want to see it too. And I'm like, oh no, it's just a superhero movie, but it's so bad they don't know how to sell it.
which one is the madam?
Dakota Johnson.
Oh, okay.
But I saw this movie. I don't know why she's called Madam. I know this comes from comic books that I never read, but I don't know why she's Madam Web. Her name, very cleverly, is Cassie Webb with two B's. So it's very subtle that she becomes Madam Web with one B, being in the Spider-Man universe. By the way, spoiler: Spider-Man doesn't show up. So I don't know.
I
Not
don't
that we
mean
need
to
a guy to save the day, but something fun could have happened.
I don't mean to be an asshole, but here
Yeah,
I come.
go ahead.
Is this supposed to be for children?
It should be an animation for 5-year-old mentally challenged children. Yes, I see what you're saying. You can never tell. You really can never tell. I know these are Sony movies as opposed to the what they call the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but I did like the first Venom. You just never fucking know. I don't know if there'll be spoilers. There was something to knowing how bad it'll be that my first involuntary laughter out loud, I didn't feel embarrassed in the theater, which was pretty empty. But we all kind of knew we're gonna see some bullshit, and that kind of made it fun.
Will
Do
there
you?
be a Madam Web doll available anytime soon?
You got to make
Of
money somehow,
course.
so
Come
sure,
on.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Come on. Come on. You got to buy all the things.
yeah,
It's
I
a big
will.
commercial for the things.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's all.
nobody was around me, and I was texting. And like, if you saw the movie, there's a big when the ambulance crashes through a fucking building and it's blowing up. I'm still texting, like I'm barely watching it from the corner of my eye. I'm like, who gives a shit? This is just so stupid. How can action be stupid? I don't know either. But they found something. Dakota, she didn't even know what movie she's in. And I think that's the goddamn truth. She's in interviews and they go, hey, tell me something about this movie. It's like, a lot of blue screen. I don't even know what the fuck I did. I don't know if that's her way of trying to not be embarrassed. Because I mean, how are you an actor, actress, and you don't know what movie you're promoting? Like then you're just weird. I'm the producer, I'm the director. Well, fuck you. That's rude. But I kind of think she must have seen it and knows and is just making shit up. I don't know.
I
But
think she's just developing a brand of like, I'm just a simple girl.
she is aloof
I'm humbly
at best.
acting.
Right.
I think this is part of the PR branding that she's
I see that.
people like women who are like, I don't even know.
I checked the clock to see like where am I in this movie because it must be done soon. I'm like, I'm only halfway done.
Keith, you don't use Movie Pass anymore, right? That's over.
I use I know they came back, but they were such hassle at the time. I use Regal. I happen to be by Regal, so I use their version. Everybody, because of Movie Pass, even though they failed, all movie theaters have their own Movie Passes now.
Okay.
I use Regal. I happen to. If those that know about these superhero movies, I'm going to tell you how it starts. There's a dude. He's wearing a jacket with a Jaguar logo on it, and he holds a door open. And Dakota Johnson, excuse me, is like, oh, thanks for holding the door open. And this guy's like, after you, ma'am. And she looks right at the camera and goes, it's madam. And she winks right at me. And then he smiles and he goes, well, nice to meet you. I'm Johnny Craven. It's a whole fucking mess from there. Anyways, no, that's not true. But this is horrifically bad, and it is fun to hear people laugh knowing that we're not supposed to be laughing at every stupid line. Like even Kendon knows the line, with great power comes great responsibility. They do that. They say like, with the responsibility will come great power. And then they say it twice, even after we laughed the first time. Like they didn't hear us. They couldn't change it on the fly.
When you go into movies that you know you're gonna hate,
I
is there
usually don't know. This one I know, but usually I do not know. I really don't.
okay,
Why are you saying okay? I don't know.
Because it's been
Everybody hated
19
Venom. I
years,
love
and there's
Venom.
been a lot of times where you're like, yeah, I'm gonna go see it. What's the fifth, sixth, seventh version of some movie? You know
Then
you're
it's
gonna
good,
hate.
but sometimes it's fucking good. Venom was good. Everybody hated it. What am I gonna say? Another fucking Holocaust movie, Jojo Rabbit. It's fucking perfect. You never know. So you just go, and maybe this would have been good. I would have been surprised. I
Okay,
don't
so
know.
that answers my question because I was gonna ask you about your snacks. Like, do they change depending on the movie? Do you bring snacks in? Do you buy
That's funny.
popcorn for specialty times? Like, do you spend money in the theater based on this kind of movie or that kind of
I
movie?
think I do. I brought in Panera sandwiches shoved in a pocket before. Um, I think if it's like, oh, I think this movie is going to be a great movie, I might get the hot dog, the popcorn, the icy. They have the
Then you're
cardboard
taking
straws. So
yourself out on the date. So you're like, this would be a good date. I'm gonna buy the
it's
stuff.
me. It's just me.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I'm
I go.
saying.
I go alone. Yeah, so I'm on a date. I bring a plastic straw from home because icy eats up that cardboard. I do know ahead of time. This movie I knew was going to be so bad. The movie didn't deserve the drinks and the food.
It was
Mm.
for texting.
Right. It was
It
for
was
texting. It was
it
for
was for
tax
work.
reasons. It was for work.
It was-
Do you ever talk to, because I remember hating the movie so much at the Alamo Draft House that I actually talked to the staff of the movie theater to tell them that the movie was really bad.
Oh, that's
Oh, I'm
funny.
sure they appreciate you and you're in their one person show.
Right.
Yeah.
I had to. It's like 2 hours long, which is amazing to me when a movie's bad and it's 2 hours long. Just make it 45 minutes, and we'll be like, it could have been longer. And they're like, you don't fucking know. But anyway, I have to get up like halfway through pee. Then when I left, I saw another theater was playing that, and I'm like, what if it happens to be at the pee part? And so I go to sneak into that theater, and then an usher caught me, and he said, "Yeah, sneak in. I fucking dare you." So they know how bad this movie is what I'm trying to say. They're like, fucking dare you. Go ahead. God, they
Just
leave the back door open to this movie theater. They're like, I fucking dare you kids to come in.
somewhere out there, there's a kid listening thinking this is really New York City. Keith's version, Keith's perverted version of New York City, where doors are open because the movie's bad,
Right.
where
No,
you
you saw
bring
the reviews. If you go and see this movie, first of all the seats should have been special angel seats, if you know what I mean. But yeah, that of course is where I sat, and I should have locked the doors and gassed the place. But this I was excited at first because I like when see I didn't know it might be good. It might be. I like when movies fuck with the production company logos in the beginning. You know what I mean? Like that's Cannonball Run. It was I remember, and it's obviously an old movie, but I remember it said 20th Century Fox, and cars started driving on the different layers.
Oh
Cops
yeah.
started chasing the car, and I'm like, that's fucking cool. I thought maybe like Killers of the Flower Moon would have like cowboys and Indians chasing each other or something. But whenever it happens, it's exciting to me. So you would see a production company logo, then it flashes real quick to another production company logo, then it finishes the original production company logo because Madam Web gets glimpses of the future. I'm like, oh, this might go somewhere. Honest to
okay.
God, that was the best part of the whole fucking movie.
Yeah, that's a different department, I'm sure. They're always all
Right.
right. Yeah. We didn't make this movie. We just do this part.
And now they don't even bother explaining how people get their powers. They're like, it's the Spider-Man universe. They found a spider in the Amazon. All right, get it? Anyway, this is the way it affects these people. First of all, don't we eat like 18 spiders a year? Nothing's been happening, right? Right? What if you Google it? What do they say? They say you eat like so many spiders in your sleep.
Oh, I choose to not listen to you when you say these
Oh,
things.
okay. All right.
Oh my God. I just went deaf. So I don't
So
No,
the
that is my nightmare is to swallow bugs in my sleep. I've had a roach crawl on me in my sleep and I
oh,
woke up to that. That roach was dying. You know how like they usually fucking find a way to get past you and get
yeah.
out? Oh no no. Oh
Oh,
no no no.
it was going to its funeral. It's like
Oh yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, I was no longer scared of, usually I'm like, oh, I don't want to touch it, but I want to kill it. And by the time I'm into that house, like, oh, you woke me up
right.
and you were on me.
I
You're
wouldn't want
dead.
the earwigs. That's my fear. They go
Yes.
inside the ear.
I can't with orifices. I can't. You can't talk like that. No, unless I'm actually going to turn into some radioactive thing that works for me instead of just kills me. No, I don't want to talk about that.
So
This must have started because some kid had like a thing in their ear and the parent was making up that like, no, this just makes you a superhero. Just hold on and wait for the spider to get out into the light. Ugh.
well, this is strange, and I'm not joking. This is absolutely true. In the movie, the mom, and this is how the movie starts. She goes to the Amazon. She's finding a spider that's gonna help help science and disease and all that. And of course, she works with somebody she doesn't know is a bad guy that's gonna use it for evil. She gets bit by this spider. Then this in this crazy Amazon world, they're already super spider people because they've been bit by this spider before. None of this makes sense. And yes, the mom dies from the spider bite, but they, having some kind of superpowers, are able to able to get her pregnant baby out of her belly. Like she's like 4 months pregnant, but they're able to get back. So the mom dies. Now we have Dakota Johnson. We find out
Oh.
that in the womb, the mom knew that the kid had a disease. And that's really the main reason she wanted to find the spider that would cure her. Again, I'm not skipping
Um,
anything, makes no fucking sense. Her disease, Chemda, mythivius gravis. I
Myasthenia gravis?
Yes, what Chemda had or has, because
What?
apparently it's incurable, as I'm told. I swear to God, I went, oh, I wonder if the audience was like, did we miss something? And then Dakota Johnson's like, I don't have a muscular whatever the fuck incurable disease. Oh, it's the spider. My mom actually saved my life.
Wow. Somebody who wrote this has myasthenia gravis.
Yeah,
That
it's out of
doesn't fall.
nowhere. It's not
That
followed up. They don't talk about what it means.
I was diagnosed with myasthenia gravis, and it's only until 5 minutes ago can I pronounce the word. It
Right.
took me so long. Then I had to
Oh,
like learn how to write it out. And I'm like, it has a TH? What the hell?
Right.
And then because
I
you have
still
to
don't
like
know.
doctors don't know. Some
Right.
doctors
That's
I
true.
can tell when they're faking when they're young, and I'm like, dude, come on,
Right.
man.
that's what the tumor was from, myasthenia gravis.
No, but sometimes that particular tumor comes with myasthenia gravis, which is an autoimmune disease that attacks your muscles. So people with that particular one, you can like have your eye gets droopy, you can lose your ability to use your arms and legs. So some people are in wheelchairs, some people are like with a cane, and it's like attacking your body.
What's the worst that you had it?
The worst that I had the droopy eye for a day. I was very lucky because, sometimes it just stays. And then I remember Ophira was the guest on that show. I was wearing shades,
Sunglasses?
but I
Yeah.
showed it. It's just
Yeah.
distracting, which is why I was wearing it.
Sure.
And it's also, I mean,
Oh, I appreciate it. It was vomitous. Yeah.
it okay. It doesn't look great. And a few times I couldn't use my hand. Like I couldn't open the door. I couldn't grip enough to open the
Right.
door. But I also was very lucky. It was a short amount of time that I couldn't do that. Like I probably needed rest, and
But
I don't
how's
know.
it?
It resets for me, so it's been okay.
But are you saying it's not related to the tumor?
It's related to the tumor in that with a tumor like mine, they test for myasthenia gravis because that's one way to know that you have myasthenia gravis. It comes with this tumor. Mm.
I see. So it's
Like if
you.
you have the tumor that I had, which is thymoma, if you have thymoma, you're getting checked for myasthenia gravis.
How about just test me anyways?
It's so rare.
Oh, I don't want to waste your time, doctor.
But also, if you don't have the symptoms, I don't know, what's the point?
I don't know.
You're not, you probably don't have.
We're not where we could just step in a fucking machine
I know.
and they
Yeah.
scan your body. We were not there yet.
That would be so great. They really should scan our brains, just our regular brains, and then
Yeah.
you can compare it to people who have, you know, who have done criminal activity, who have
Yeah.
done certain drugs. Like then you can compare and we could know like what a pedophile's brain looks like. How can we change that for them?
They tried to show that Madam Web is uncomfortable around regular people for no reason. It has nothing to do with the plot. And how they did this is someone was having a bachelorette party, and you could just tell you're not supposed to like these fucking hens for whatever reason. They're giggling too much, and she's rolling her eyes. So they play some bachelorette game, and they're pulling paper out of a hat, and then reading it, and then you have to guess who wrote it. I guess it's something about your parents, and you guess who fucking wrote it. Then they pull out one that's blank, and they spend like a minute turning it over. This is blank. No one filled that. Whose is this? And of course, it's Dakota Johnson's. And she goes, "Oh, that's mine." It's like, well, you have nothing to say about your mom. Oh, she died in childbirth, and actually, this is one of those baby parties, and a lot of babies die in childbirth. Oh, I didn't mean to say that. But it's actually you wouldn't even know if your baby would die inside. I'm a fucking idiot. Why did you have to give a blank piece of paper? Just don't give it. And then she starts having flashes of the future, and they go, "Hey, ready to play this game now?" And she's like, "What? We just played the game." And everybody just there's like 30 women, and they all just look around like, what's going on with this fucking weirdo?" Everybody just stops because somebody said, "Didn't we play the game already?" What? So that was a little laughable. So it was a
She
good time.
eat flies?
Did what?
Did she eat flies ever?
No, she's just spiders. If she sees a spider in your house, she'll eat it.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, and she didn't know why. She had to look up why. And then she goes, "Hey, should I look at this fucking book that somehow got to me when my mom was killed by the bad guy in the beginning? That's filled with spider information." So she does that finally, looks at this chest full of spider books and information, and is like, "Oh, I'm a spider person." Other than
Hmm.
that, she was just mad at her mom for dying in the Amazon.
Yeah, we should scan our bodies. Maybe I should know I'm a spider person.
Right.
Gotta leave the books left
She
around.
looks at the books, and the book has a like a 1-page map of where she has to go in the Amazon. So she flies to the Amazon, and then she's in the area that we recognized before by looking at a map. Like, oh, there's a picture of a tree. That's the tree, and I'm in the spot again. And then I'll meet the people who help make me be a spider person, and they'll tell me I have great responsibility and therefore power.
You know what? That always trips me up in a movie when a character gets like a dense amount of information
Yes.
and they're like, got it. Like even in Shawshank Redemption, when he was like, oh, there's a thing in the something of Mexico, and I don't even know if it's Mexico because I can
Right.
remember it, say Montenegro or something.
Right. The third brick on the right will have
I
the
d-
money.
yes, yeah, there'll be a thing that doesn't look like it belongs there, and I'm like, am I a botanist now? What?
Right.
I assume this is
Absolutely
a
right.
very large amount of money. It's like, am I looking for a red rose? Like, what's happening? And he remembered all of it.
Right. The bad guy has visions. He was bit by a spider. He has visions of these spider women that later in life are going to kill him. So now he has to go and find them and kill them. You're caught
Sure,
up,
I
I
follow
promise.
my visions all the time.
So he seduces a woman that works for the NSA, and he gets information out of her of this technology that can scan us in real life from any camera. If we
He's
find, yeah,
very charismatic, it
yeah, he's
sounds
very
like.
well. He can touch you and start poisoning you. That's the whole story there. And so
Okay.
as she's dying, she gives the code so to NSA security.
Is this
And
like the movie The Ring where you have to pass us this
yes, yeah, I
information so
can't
that
sleep
we,
until I haven't slept
oh,
yet. Yeah,
okay.
until you guys have this. I can't
Okay.
eat, sleep, or cry. And so she's dying. He kills her anyways, but she gives out the code and it's like 248 9P lowercase v 7 dash 4. And I'm like, his superpower is memorizing all that shit. He's like, got it.
Yeah, especially when they're just like yapping it at you and you're like, wait, how many numbers are there? Because now I'm thinking how many numbers are there and I lost the first three. I also
Right.
don't like it when the bad guy calls you up and it's like, if you ever want to see your daughter, meet me at 6 p.m. on the bridge, south side, west of
Right.
the thing, and the light is down the, and I'm like, oh, just the
She's
address
dead.
one more time. My kid is dead.
Click. I'm like, well, I'm not trying to be a smartass. 1 second, I gotta get a pen.
Listen, I'll write straight in my journal. You just have to see, like, I will mess up this page, but just let me find my pen.
I would turn on my voice memo to record
Right,
it
right,
all.
right. And he's like, don't record me. I'm like, it's the only way I can give you $1 million. I
Meanwhile,
have
I'm
to.
probably shaking because you have my kid.
Right.
I
It
don't,
is.
yeah.
It is interesting. So these women, they have powers. They get powers somehow, and I
And
don't even
lose
know how
all
they
the
got
other
the
powers that they developed,
and
like
and they're all
logic.
seamstresses. They can make sexy tight outfits. But it is nice that they all respect the spider so much. Their outfits are all spider related, and
Mm.
that's I guess because the who cares? Why am I guessing something? What a dumb piece of shit. What a dumb piece of shit.
Well, if
Uh,
you're attacking the outfits that are spider at this point,
just
you're
sure,
out of idea. Come on.
sure.
What Superman's outfit is just so perfect that you can't even with this one. I
Here's
think
the quote.
you're pushing at this
Here's the
point, it
quote.
feels like.
When you take on the responsibility, great power will come. Like, yeah, we get it.
Sort of, yeah.
We get it from the Better movie that you shouldn't be reminding us of. Yeah. Well, what did Tom Cruise's wife say? Laughing at billions of dollars makes sense in a place like this. You know, what was the Spider-Man movie you were in? Remind me, Marga.
Oh, I think it was Spider-Man 2,
Okay,
Spider-Man 3. I'm not in it. I get money, I get checks from it every now and then.
that's the best way to do it.
Yeah, but yeah, I showed up and it was really weird because you're not supposed to do this, but
You wore a spider suit.
I
Okay.
went to a hotel room and the guy who I was auditioning for, I guess he was a director. He just had me come to his hotel
Right.
room
Okay.
and
Tale as old as
I
time.
guess I don't have it. And yeah, and I just read, but I thought, is he going to rape me and kill me? But no, but I just read like Spidey's okay because I was one of the people on the street when
Okay.
Spider-Man disappeared. We were supposed to like talk to the news reporters how we still
Gotcha.
believed in Spider-Man.
Right. Was this Tobey Maguire?
It was a Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah,
for you.
it's a good one. Yeah. And but when they shot my scene, it was towards the end of the day, and I kept hearing them saying, "We're losing light," because we drove around in a van in Queens to shoot these people on the street. And by
Hmm.
the time they got to me, the light was gone. They're very,
Mm,
they care about the
Right.
light a lot. So mine never got in.
that fucking light.
Yeah, the light. We're losing light.
Mm.
Yeah.
You're bringing like flashlights and shit. Like we're good. Putting it on yourself. I mean, I keep doing promotions for this movie, Dakota Johnson. I do love your outfits. You know, I saw a tweet from Rod Morrow, who does our VIP show last week on Keith and the Girl, and he wrote, 15-year-old me would have never believed that one day there would be a computer in my pocket and a ton of women would be posting videos like, please look at my butt and boobs. So true.
You
And
know, that is what
here,
the internet is for some people.
yeah, we don't say smile, but we say like. Like, okay, good for you. Becca writes when we talked about gun, we talked about the Crumbly family and the parents are being sued. The mom is already found guilty of enabling the son who did a school shooting massacre in Michigan some time ago. And should the parents be responsible if it's their gun? I
And
think
I
yes.
think today's poll should be whose father is worse, Keith's
My
or
my
this
father
guy?
or or Mr. Crumbly, right?
Yes, yes. Okay, so yeah, so that was the poll. It was should parents, do you have it exactly? Because
You know what? I'll look it up right now.
yeah. Margaret, did you hear about the story?
I don't think so. The Crumblies?
Yeah, so the shooter was 15 years old
Yeah.
and had a gun from his parents and showed signs of being of worrying, things like
Literally begged for help.
yeah, saying help, like
Help
this
me. I'm going to shoot up the school. Here's a drawing of a gun that my parents have at home.
yeah, so they're holding the parents responsible for him having a gun and shooting.
Now, this is a brand new poll, so it's early. If a child commits murder with a parent's gun, is the parent an accomplice? 100% yes so far. And I agree.
Wow.
Well, if the parent, not that nobody should, I'd rather nobody have guns, but if the gun was locked up, would that be a
Hmm.
circumstance to not
Sure,
be an
if it
accomplice?
was, but he got it, so I guess it wasn't.
No, no, right.
Right.
Oh no, I wonder if that is or that will be a point where if the kid stole it from the parents, are the parents to, like if he had to, you know,
Right.
steal their key or somehow or if it was just available to him. But I know as I understand it, around this country, it's very normal to have a gun by the door. You know, one of those long ones, what are they called?
Right.
You
Yeah,
know,
Rifles?
rifle. Yeah.
yeah, I thought people put it next to their door like regular. So that's access to a gun, right?
Sure.
Yes.
To I
Yeah.
don't, this whole like, oh
You
my
got to.
God, your kid got access. I thought people give guns to their kids at 12 for their birthday. Like so that's what's interesting about this is the gun control in this country comes from very odd places. Like this is where the control is. And I don't,
Right.
you know?
I hear you.
Yeah.
Becca wrote Guns and Mental Health in the Home, 41 years old, female. I had lots of mental health issues as a kid and no coping mechanisms. When I was about 14, I lived with my dad. I was snooping through his closet and found pieces of a 22 revolver. I found them all and I put it together. It was an
Wow.
antique, clearly not for home protection, but it worked. I carried it around for a few days. I mean, she didn't test it out, but it worked. I carried it around for a few days thinking I was cool, even had it in my purse at a club. God, kids are dumb.
Holy shit.
Whoa.
Oh
She
my
wrote,
God.
God, kids are dumb. But fortunately, as soon as one of my depressive episodes started coming on, I found myself thinking about the gun. I knew I wasn't going to be safe with it. So I walked into the room where my dad was watching TV. I laid it next to him, saying, I don't trust myself with this. Good for you. I can only
Wow.
imagine his shock and fear. He played it off pretty well. But the next day, I was being checked into a treatment center. Think girl interrupted style.
Oh,
The next few years were a challenge for my dad, but he was always proactive. Always took me seriously and did everything he could to help therapy, meds, treatment centers, etc. I'm lucky in that regard. I'm alive now because of him. I'm sure of it. I also
Other
share
people
this
are too.
cause. What's that? Sorry.
Oh, other people are alive too.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I also share this cause. You are right, Keith. Kids snoop. You know what? I don't know how parents don't know your kids fucking snoop. In
yeah.
fact, like, Kyle would have like a diary that, might have been pissed off one day. You don't want the kids reading that, believe me. How don't you think your kid is going to look through your main? Was I a piece of shit kid? Or
You know
is that
what?
what
Like
kids do? I
I
assume your kid's going to look through every fucking thing.
I really think I was a good kid and I snooped and not to be a yucky person, just like I was so curious. I
Right.
wasn't looking to incriminate them or get my hands on something. I just was curious.
I
But
was
there
just
were
looking for money.
yeah. There were places that I didn't open because those seemed like the places that I don't know. I also never opened my parents' bedroom door unless I had permission, you know. But I was going through their closet to get clothes and I found their porn, but that's
Mm.
because they hid it behind something that looked like a shirt I wanted to wear. And I'm like, no, I don't want to find that. So I think, like, I don't know that I was ever looking for finding out information about them. I think I was just looking for something
Right.
else.
The next few years were a challenge for my dad. He was always proactive. I'm lucky, blah, blah, blah. I also share this because you're right, Keith, kid Snoop. And if I, a 14-year-old girl that never shot a gun, can literally put together a 22,
Wow.
simply hiding your gun in a closet is not enough. Much love, Becca. All right, little
Wow.
Yeah,
PSA.
yeah, yeah. The re- the amount of people that just feel comfortable having a gun. I just don't know what that feels like. I don't know what it
Right,
feels like to if there's a gun on the table to not just be like, holy shit, there's a gun on the table.
right.
That
But
seems
have you
very
ever had
regular.
fresh rabbit? Pretty fucking good. It's pretty good. Anyways,
My father
Marga,
used to, oh, yes, go ahead.
I was
Sorry.
just gonna say I'm into your show, but and talk about it. But please, what were you gonna say?
Oh, my father used to keep, because we grew up in Washington Heights before it got gentrified. My
Mhm.
father used to keep his gun in a paper bag, and then he would walk at home with his gun in a paper bag for protection.
Hmm.
Did he ever take it out? Do you know if he used to
No,
use
but
it?
he had been mugged,
Mm,
so that's why he got a gun. Yeah.
damn. Well, that was a tough area, no?
Yes, back then in the 60s and 70s. Yes. Yeah. So, but I guess the paper bag was so if the bad guys showed up, they wanted a sandwich or something and
It's
pull out the gun.
entrapment. Give me your lunch. It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
here's my lunch. I was mugged, and I was being in New York City, it'd be such a to do to get a gun. It didn't feel like an option to me. But anyways, people were telling me about fake wallets that like blow up on them, or this kind of thing. And I'm like, if I'm carrying a fake wallet, then I'm literally looking for trouble. And I'm gonna find myself walking close to dangerous situations deliberately. I'm not gonna wear two wallets for no fucking reason. You know what I mean? So I think you're almost attracting another problem.
That's so funny because my thought, if somebody told me I had to wear two wallets, I'm like, if this is a regular thing to be mugged, I have to start reconsidering my choices no matter how good New York City is.
Right.
Then I gotta be ready to be mugged all the time. That
Right.
doesn't sound okay.
Somebody says, "Excuse me, where's the?" And I hand them my fake wallet.
Yeah, exactly.
And don't open it in front of me because it blows up blue. Okay, very good.
Also with the gun, Nicole J is saying they bought the gun for him as a present to
Ah, well,
the
there you go.
15-year-old.
Well, congrats. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
Well,
the good news for them is that I think they could find a jury of their peers in their area. Hey,
well, they
you
didn't
guys
yet.
never bought your kid a gun, right? Like I imagine
Right,
all
right.
of their neighbors have bought their kid a gun.
Well, with the Crumbly kid, there's the gun, then there's the diary, then there's rating in your math homework. Seriously, I need help.
Right. Right.
And the parents, ignoring that
Yeah.
day or the day before. The same day. I think the same day. The parents said, "No, don't worry about these warning signs you just saw. I'm not taking my kid out of here."
The whole family's in jail.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. The dad is still pleading not guilty. He didn't have his case yet. I'd switch the plea. I would switch the plea. Going, based on what's going on with my wife, I'm a little guilty. Does that help? Yeah, of course. Anyway, Marga, hope you're happy. All right,
Always.
you want to see always. You want to see Marga's show? It's going to premiere in New York City at La Mama Theater. La Mama, nice. And I love stories about lesbians. They're kind of my favorite stories, to be honest.
And ships and
I love ship
bingo.
stories.
Lots of bingo in
Who
it
doesn't
too.
love bingo and
Yeah.
some kind of sexual activity?
Right.
I'm in. People want to follow you online. Before you mute them, where should they go?
They can follow me on Instagram, the Marga Gomez, and I'll probably update my website, margagomez.com someday.
Okay.
So check
Very
it
good.
out before she updates it.
Yeah.
Limited time.
Yeah.
That's right.
Like she's on it.
Right. Before she's like, this shouldn't be up here. Check it out now. It's like diary type shit. You know it. I think that's it. KeithandTheGirl.com/dad book. It's the book about my dad. He hit on my ex-wife. My ex-wife said, "What the fuck is this?" I said, "Can I pretend I'm you and talk to my dad as if I'm you?" And she says, "The Malleys are fucking weird, but it's your birthday. Happy birthday. Go have fun." The adventure lasts a year, culminates into me having actual sex with my dad. KeithandTheGirl.com/dad book. Take a look. It's insane. And we love you very much. That's it. Marga, you're the best.
All
Yay.
right. And shout out to Anna who says, Chemda, I love your purple sweater.
Nice.
Thank you very much.
Mhm.
That's it. Have a great day or